So in this question, you are told without using a calculator, evaluate. So we have 2 1/3 minus 1 1/5 of 2 divided by a quarter minus into bracket minus a half cubed. So here we apply the BODMAS. So BODMAS is explains the order of operation. And what we do first here is, BODMAS means bracket or division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So we write our fractions here in improper form as we continue to solve. So this is 3 times 2 plus 1, that is 6, that is 7 divided by 3. Then we have minus, this is 5 times 1, that is 5 plus 1 is 6 over 5. Multiply by off means multiply by 2, divide by a quarter, minus. So here we have bracket, and when you cube a half, 2 cubed is 8, and because we have a minus sign here, minus multiply by minus is minus, so you have into bracket minus 1 over 8. Minus 1 over 8. So that is when you cube a half, minus 1 over 8, you close the bracket. So when you multiply here, you get this is 7 over 3 minus that, this will be 12 divided by 5 divided by, now a quarter, when you open the bracket, it will be negative, and negative is positive, so we have a quarter plus 1 over 8. So from there we go to, now we can get the LCM of 3 and 5, that is 15. So this is 15. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Multiplied by 7 is 35. Then we have minus 15 divided by 5 is 3, multiplied by 12, that will give you 36. You can write here, divide by, you get the LCM here, it is 8. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, multiplied by 1 is 2, and 8 divided by 8 is 1, multiplied by 1 is 1. So this will give you 36 minus 12, minus 30, 35 minus 36 is minus 1, divide by 15. Then you divide by 2 plus 1 is 3, divided by 8. Now from there, you say it is minus 1 over 15. You multiply by 8 over 3. This will give you 8, 1 times 8 is 8, divide by, 15 times 3 is 45. So that is the answer to that question. So that's how you work it using the BODMAS. You have to follow that procedure. Otherwise, if you don't follow, you get a totally different answer. So thank you for watching. So in this question, you are told, given that 6 to power 2n minus 3 is equals to 7,776, find the value of n. So to be able to do this question, you need to express this number in index form or in power form. And we can say that because you may not determine the index form of this, you can use this method. You can use, you can say you draw a line there, you write this is 7, 7, 7, 6. So when you divide by 2, you get it is 3,888. You divide again by 2, you get 1,944. Divide by 2 again, you can get 972. 972. We divide again by 2. In this case, we are getting the factors you get it is 486. 486. Again, we divide by 2, you get 243. 243. This is 3. We now divide by 3. We get 81. We divide again by 3. You get 27. Divide by 3, you get 9. And you divide by 3, you get 3. So the factors, this is 2 to power 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 to power 5 multiplied by 3 to power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 to power 5, which we can write, it is 2 times 3 or raised to power 5, which is equals to 6 to power 5. Now, having reached that stage, you can now equate your 6 to power 2n minus 3. You equate that to 6 to power 5. Since now we have the common base, it means the index are the same, or the powers. So it means 2n minus 3 is equals to 5. Take 3 to the other side, it means 2n. It changes to positives, is equals to 5 plus 3 is 8. Divide both sides by 2. So you find your n is equals to 4. So that's how you work it out. So the most important thing here is when you are given a question like this one, you have to find a common base by expressing the one side and the other side to have a common base, and then you can equate the powers. So that's how you work it out. Thank you for watching. This is question number 3, and you are told the base of a right pyramid is a rectangle of length 80 centimeter and 60 centimeter width. Each slant edge of the pyramid is 130. Calculate the volume of the pyramid. So the volume of a pyramid is calculated by volume is equals to that multiplied by base area multiplied by height. So that is the formula for calculating the volume of a pyramid. For convenience, it is good you have a sketch of that. So let me make my sketch and see what kind of a figure that we have. So this is my sketch, and for us to be able to apply our formula, we need the height. And the height is from the vertex down to the center of the, so this is the height. For us to get this, we need to get, okay, we are told here it is 80 centimeter, 60 centimeter, and this is 130 centimeter. So we need the height. For us to be able to get the height, we will need to apply the Pythagoras theorem. First of all, we get the slanting side here. So the first triangle, so we can call this L. The first triangle is formed between 130. Now this angle here is 90, so we need L. So we can say this angle, this triangle is like this. So this is 130, and this is half of 60, so this is 30. This is right angle, so this is now our L. So for us to get L is equals to, use the Pythagoras theorem, it is the square root of 130 squared minus 30 squared. And you can use your calculator to compute that. You get that to give you around 126.5. Or you can leave it as a square. Then, as a square root. Then, we need now to use another triangle. This another triangle, this one. to get now the height. So the other triangle looks like this. So now we have obtained, this is 126.5, and now this is half of 40, so this is 40. So this is 40, and this is now our height. Now using the Pythagoras theorem, you say h is equals to the square root of 126.5 minus 40 squared, which when you compute using your calculator, you should get 120 centimeter. Now we have the height, so we can apply our formula. So now our volume is equals to that multiplied by base area is 80 multiplied by 60. Then you multiply by the height which we have obtained is 120, and using your calculator you get this is 192,000 centimeter cubed. So that is the volume, and that is how you go about that question. So I hope you have understood, and thank you for watching. This is question number 4. We are told in the figure below, ABCD is a uniform cross-section of a solid. Given that FG is one of the visible edges of the solid, complete the sketch showing hidden edges with broken lines. So this is a very simple question. All what you need, because you are told it's a sketch, you can complete the solid so that we can say that is one line. We draw another one here. Then we draw another one here. So these are complete lines, so you can join that one, you can join that one, and you join that one. So those are complete lines. Then we have the hidden lines. This is a hidden line, also this one, and then you can have complete the lines like that, and you complete this one. Then we need to break these lines to show that they are broken. So let me break them. So we have that a broken line. These are broken lines. We are going to show there. These are broken lines. That's a broken line, and then we have this one. So that is what you are supposed to do. But now when you are doing using a pen, you just need to place your ruler there and you draw line segments so that you are able to show broken lines. So that's how you complete a very simple question, and you earn yourself maybe 4 marks in this question. The length of 3 wires were 30, 36, and 84. Pieces of a wire of equal length were cut from the 3 wires. Calculate the least number of pieces obtained. So here we need to find the GCD, the greatest common divisor, so that we know how many wires are to be obtained or to be obtained from that 30, 36, and 84. So we can write 30 in its factors. So it is 2 times 3 times 5. The factors of 36 are 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And 84, we get it is 2 times 2. This is equals to 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. So the GCD, or the greatest common divisor, is equals to what is common. So you realize that this is common, 2 is common, 2 and 3, it is common there, and it is common there. So it is 2 times 3 is equals to 6. Now, once you get 6 as a GCD, you divide, we get 30. You divide by 6 to find how many pieces will be obtained from 30, and this will give you 5. 36 divide by 6, you get 6 pieces, and 84 divide by 6, you'll be able to get 84 divided by 6, you'll be able to get 14. Now, once you get 14, then you add. So it means it is 14 plus 5, you get 19, plus 6, you get 25. So 25 pieces will be obtained from the 3 pieces of wire. So each of length 6 centimeters. So that's how you work it out, and you get good marks. Thank you for watching. Is a 2-digit number is such that the sum of its digits is 13. When the digits are interchanged, the original number is increased by 9. Find the original number. So in this question, we are going to let our digits be xy. So xy, we are told that the sum of the digits is equals to 13. That means that x plus y is equals to 13. Then we are told when the numbers are interchanged, that is, our number will be yx. The difference is or the number is increased by 9. This means that if we subtract the first number, the original number, and the second number formed, the difference should give us 9. So since we know that in this case here, this is on the 10th position, so we write our number. This is the same as 10y plus x. That is a number. Then when you minus, the other number is 10x plus y. The difference should give you 9. So we open the bracket, so you have 10y plus x minus 10x minus y is equals to 9. So this will give us 9y, and this is going to give us minus 9x is equals to 9. So this is an equation. So we are going to use the two equations, that equation and this equation, which are simultaneous, to be able to find x. So let's write that is 9x minus, not 9x, but 9y. 9y minus 9x is equals to 9, and we have x plus y is equals to 13. Or rather, let's write it in a better way. We write x, y plus x is equals to 13. So these are simultaneous equations. We can multiply this side by 9 and this equation by 1. So we have 9y minus 9x, that will not change, is equals to 9. Then we have 9y plus 9x. When you multiply 13 by 9, you get it is 117. So we add the two equations so that we will eliminate x. So this will give us 18y is equals to 9 minus plus 117, that should give us 126. Divide both sides by 18, divide by 18, and you get y is equals to 7. If y is equals to 7, and we are told that x plus y is equals to 13, so it means x is equals to 13, x is equals to 13 minus 7, which is 13 minus 13, not 19, which should give you 6. Now we have our x and y, and our original number is this one. So you have our number is xy, and we have obtained our x, so then the original number is 67. The original number is 67, the number formed by x and y. So that's how you go about that question. Seven, part A, using a ruler and a pair of compasses only, construct a quadrilateral PQRS in which PQ is equals to 5 centimeter, PS is equals to 3 centimeter, QR is equals to 4 centimeter, and angle PQR is equals to 135 degrees, and SQ is angle SPQ is a right angle. Now let's make a sketch that is going to guide us on how to go about it. And when you are told to use a ruler and a compass, you don't use other instruments, because you are being tested. For example, you know how to make measurements, like PQ is equals to 5 centimeter. You know how to construct angle PQR. Angle PQR is equals to 90 degrees plus 45. So let's make a sketch. So this is the shape of the figure that we need to have. This is PQ, which is 5 centimeter. We are given PS is 3 centimeter. We are given QR is 4 centimeter, and this angle is 135. The angle SPQ is 90, so that angle is 90. So for us to be able to construct this, you start by drawing line PQ. Line PQ, using a compass, you are using a ruler, you draw a straight line. So this is a line that you have drawn, and these are your points. So this is, you measure 5 centimeter, so this is our point P, and this is our point Q. So after that, we are going to construct an angle of 90 at point P, so that we have a vertical line which is going to, and then measure 3 centimeter to get the position of S. And how do we construct angle 90? From point P, you make a mark at this side and another mark the same equal distance with your compass. Then from there, you use this point to make a mark there and to make a mark there. Then with this point here, you draw a line from P passing through that point, and you measure 3 centimeter. So that's where 3 centimeter is. So this is remember, here we had said it is 5 centimeter. Here it is 3 centimeter. Now we need to construct a line from Q to get position of R, where we are told that the angle here is 135. And how do we construct angle 135? We construct angle 35. We can draw an angle of 90, and then we make from P, we make then we divide the other 90 by 2, so that will give us bisect the angle 90 by so that we get 45, and that is where the line of QR passes. So let's do. So this is a angle of 90. What I have done is just like we have done from point P, I've made 2 points there, then use this point to make a mark there, and use this other point to make a mark there using your compass. Then you join point Q through the mark here, you make a vertical line. Now this is angle 90, and we need to make angle 135. So we need to bisect this angle here so that we get the line QR. When you add 90 plus 45, it will add up to 135. So let's do that. Now here I have bisected this angle by marking a point on the vertical line equidistant from Q to this point. Then I have made 2 marks from this point, that is, and another one from this point, and then I have joined point P with where these 2 marks intersect, and I have come up with that line. And it means, since we have bisected this angle 90, this is 45. And now when you add 90 and 45, we have achieved our angle 135. So now what remains is to measure 4 centimeter using your ruler and a compass, so that we get the position of R. So now we have measured 4 centimeter. So this is our point R. This is 4 centimeter. So what remains now is to join the line. This is our S, is to join a line so that we have SR, and that you have completed our diagram. So let's do that. So when you join S and R, our diagram would look like that. So what is important here is you don't use any other instrument apart from your ruler and compass. Actually, these marks that we are making here when we are constructing a vertical line, and when you are bisecting, those are the where the examiner will check to see whether you have used the correct the ruler and the compass. You are being tested whether you know how to construct an angle of 135, whether you know how to measure 4 centimeter, 5 centimeter, and things like that. And there you get a full mark. So let's go look at part B of this question. Part B of this question says the quadrilateral PQRS which you have plotted represent a plot of land drawn to scale of 1 is to the ratio of 4,000, determining the actual length of RS in meters. So first of all, you need to understand this. 1 is to 400, it means 1 centimeter represent 4,000 centimeter. So if we divide 4,000 by 100, it means 1 centimeter represent 40 meters. Determine the actual length of RS in meters. So this is our RS. When you measure RS using a ruler, you get it's around 7.8 centimeter. So 7.8 you multiply 7.8, you multiply by 40, and you get the actual length of RS in meters is 312 meters. So that is how you do that, and you get full mark. Question number 8 on vectors. And we are told, given that OA is equals to 3 and OB is equals to minus 4, 5, find the midpoint M of OAB. Now, if we are given this is a position vector, it means the coordinates of A are 2, 3, and the coordinates of B are minus 4, 5. Now, to get the midpoint M, the coordinates of M, we can simply say it is 2 plus minus 4 divided by 2, and the other one is 3 plus 5 divided by 2. So 2 plus minus 4 is the same as m. This is the same as 2 minus 4 is minus 2. Minus 2 divided by 2 is minus 1. Then we have 3 plus 5 is 8. And divide by 2, you get 4. So these are the coordinates of the midpoint M of AB. And that's how you simply do that. Number 9. Two towns R and S are 45 kilometers apart. A bus traveling at an average speed of 60 kilometers per hour left town R for town S at 8 a.m. A truck left town S for town R at 9 a.m. and met the bus at 11 a.m. Determine the average speed of the truck. When you are given this kind of a question, it is good to make a sketch so that you understand what to do and how to solve it. So let's make a sketch, a line representing the distance between the two towns. So this is our line representing the distance between town R. So this is our R and this is our S. Let's say they met here. So that is the meeting point. Now you realize the bus started the journey at 8. That's what you are told. And it's traveling at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. And it met with the bus at 11. So it means by the time they met, the bus had covered a distance of since we have 3 hours there, so it means the bus had traveled 60, that is distance is equals to 6 speed times time, so this is 3, it is equals to 180 kilometers. We remember we are told that the distance here between the two towns is 245 kilometers. So 245, you subtract 180, 245, you subtract 180, and you'll be left with 65 kilometers. Now, it means the bus had, the road had covered 65 kilometers by the time it met with the bus. So we can calculate speed is equals to distance over time, which is equals to 65 divide by time, which is 2 hours, because it started at 9 and they met at 11, so those are 2 hours, and this will give you 32.5. So the answer is 32.5 kilometers per hour. So that is the average speed of the truck, and that's how you do that question. So the diagram helps us to understand what we need to calculate and be able to see it properly. So thank you for watching. Number 9. Two towns R and S are 45 kilometers apart. A bus traveling at an average speed of 60 kilometers per hour left town R for town S at 8 a.m. A truck left town S for town R at 9 a.m. and met the bus at 11 a.m. Determine the average speed of the truck. When you are given this kind of a question, it is good to make a sketch so that you understand what to do and how to solve it. So let's make a sketch, a line representing the distance between the two towns. So this is our line representing the distance between town R. So this is our R and this is our S. Let's say they met here. So that is a meeting point. Now you realize the bus started the journey at 8. That's what you are told, and it's traveling at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour, and it met with the bus at 11. So it means by the time they met, the bus had covered a distance of since we have 3 hours there, so it means the bus had traveled 60, that is distance is equals to 6 speed times time, so this is 3, it is equals to 180 kilometers. We remember we are told that the distance here between the two towns is 245 kilometers. So 245, you subtract 180, 245, you subtract 180, and you'll be left with 65 kilometers. Now it means the bus had, the lorry had covered 65 kilometers by the time it met with the bus. So we can calculate speed is equals to distance over time, which is equals to 65 divided by time, which is 2 hours, because it started at 9 and they met at 11, so those are 2 hours, and this will give you 32.5. So the answer is 32.5 kilometers per hour. So that is the average speed of the truck, and that's how you do that question. So the diagram helps us to understand what we need to calculate and be able to see it properly. So thank you for watching. Question number 10. In the figure below, WXYZ, WX is equals to 10 centimeters, so that is our WX. Our XY is 5 centimeter, and angle WXY is 150, so this angle is 150 degrees, and we are required to calculate the area. So you notice that since we have ZY is parallel to WX and WZ is parallel to XY, this is a parallelogram. If we draw a line from W to our Y, then it will have divided the parallelogram into two triangles which are equal in size, and we can get the area of one triangle and multiply by 2, which will give us the area of the parallelogram. So we can say area is equals to 2 multiplied by the area of this triangle. Since we are given two sides and they are including angle, so we use the formula I have AB, so I have AB sine theta, which is our WX is 10 multiplied by 5, the sine of 150 degrees. So using a calculator, first of all, you can divide 2 by 2, you get 1. So you multiply 10 times 5, that is 50, multiplied by the sine of 150, and this should give you 25 centimeter squared. So that is how you get the area. A very simple question, and you earn yourself good marks. So thank you for watching. Question number 11. Without using mathematical tables or a calculator, evaluate sine 30 degrees minus sine 60 degrees, or divided by tan 60 degrees. So this question, we use what we call special angles. Special angles are 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees. Why are they called special angles? Because you can be able to get their trig ratios without using mathematical tables or calculator. For us to be able to show that, I'm going to use a triangle to demonstrate how we get the sine trig ratios of these angles and why we refer to them as special angles. This is an equilateral triangle. We can name it A, we have B, C, and we know an equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal, and we have a line from A. We can call this M. So we can say this side is 2, this side is 2, and this side is 2 units, because it is an equilateral triangle, and therefore when M is a midpoint of BC, and therefore that side is 1 and this side is 1. This angle here is 90, meaning that we can get the Pythagoras theorem and say that to get AM, it is equals to AM is equals to the square root of 2 squared minus, that is minus 1 squared. This is equals to the square root of 4 minus 1, which is equals to the square root of 3. So it means this side is the square root of 3. We know an equilateral triangle, the angles are equal, so that angle is 60. This angle is also 60. This angle is, when you divide by 2, it is 30, and this angle here is 30. So since we are told to get the to evaluate this, this means that our question will have sin 30. Sin 30 is the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. So it means this is equals to opposite side is 1 divided by 2. Then we subtract. This is angle 60. So sin 60, angle 60 is equals to the opposite side, which is root 3 divided by the hypotenuse. So it is root 3 divided by 2. Then we divide by the tan of 60. So this is the tan of 60 is opposite of adjacent. So it is root 3 divided by 1. So this is equals to, we get the LCM here is this 2. So this is 1 minus root 3, or this is divided by root 3. So we can now say that this is equals to 1 minus root 3 divided by 2 multiply by, because this is division, we can say it is divided by 1 over root 3, which is equals to 1 minus the root of 3 divided by 2 multiplied by the root of 3 is 2 root 3. So that is how you work it out, and you get you evaluate this without using a calculator or a mathematical table. So remember, you follow instructions, you don't use a mathematical table, and you don't use a calculator, simply because the calculator will give you a value, in fact in decimal places, and what you are being tested is, do you know how to get the trig ratios of these special angles? So with angle 45, maybe we'll cover it later to see why it is also a special angle. So thank you for watching. Question number 12. Use matrix method to solve 5x plus 3y is equals to 35. 3x minus 4y is equals to minus 8. So we first write these two equations in matrix form, and that will be 5. We have 3. We have 3. We have minus 4. So that these are the constant form, the 2 by 2 matrix. Then we have x and y is equals to 35 and minus 8. So that is two equations when you write them using the matrix. So from there, to solve for this, we need to multiply both sides with the inverse of this matrix. So the inverse, to get the inverse of this matrix, we need to get the determinant. Determinant is the difference between the product of the elements of main diagonal, so that is 5 minus 4, that is, this is a main diagonal, minus 3 multiplied by 3. So this will give you 20 minus 20 minus 9, and this will give you minus 29. So now we get the inverse, and we multiply the inverse of this matrix for both sides. So this will give us 1 over the determinant, which is 29, into bracket. We interchange the elements of the main diagonal, so that becomes minus 4. This is 5, and we introduce the minus sign to the other diagonal. Then we multiply by 5, 3 minus 4, we have xy. Whatever we have done to the left hand side, we also do to the right hand side. So it is 1 over minus 29 into bracket minus 4 minus 3 minus 3, 5, and here we have 35 and minus 8. So we have balanced both sides. Then from there we have we know that when you multiply this side, you multiply this matrix with its inverse, you obviously get the identity matrix. And when you multiply the identity matrix with xy, it will not change. It is like multiplying by 1. So we have our x and y. Now we concentrate on the other, the right hand side. So when you multiply this, you say it is minus 4 times 35. So we can start by writing 1 over minus 29. You multiply minus 4 times 35 plus minus 3 times minus 8, and that will give you minus 116. We put the bracket, and then we multiply minus 3 times 35. That will give you minus 105 plus 5 times minus 8, that is minus 40, and that will give you minus 145. So from there we now multiply 1 over minus 29 multiply by minus 1 over 116, that will give you 4. And you multiply minus 1 over minus 29 times 145, that will give you 5. So this means that our x is equals to 4 and our y is equals to 5. So that is how you solve these two simultaneous equations using the matrix method. I hope it is clear, and thank you for watching. Question number 13, expand and simplify. Now this part here, we can expand and write it as 2x plus 1 into bracket. Then we have 2x plus 1, then we have plus. This one we can expand, so we multiply x multiplied by x, that will give us x squared. X multiplied by minus 3x, that is minus 3x. Minus 1 times x, that is minus x. Then minus 1 times minus 3, that will give us plus 3. We expand this one, so 2x multiplied by 2x, that will give us 4x squared. Then 2x multiplied by 1, that will give us 2x. Then 1 times 2x, that will give us 2x, and 1 times 1 will give us plus 1. Then we add x squared. This will be minus 4x minus x plus 3. Then we'll put the right terms together here. We'll end up with 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 minus x squared minus 4x plus 3. So we can put the right terms together. So here we have 4x plus x squared. That will give us 5x squared, and then we have 4x minus 4x, that is 0, then 1 plus 3, that will give us 4. So that is how you expand and simplify that expression. So thank you for watching. So question number 14, use mathematical tables to find the reciprocal of 0.0247, hence evaluate the cube root of 3.025 divided by 0.0247. So we can get the reciprocal of this number 0.0247, and the reciprocal is of this number is 1 divided by 0.0247, which is we can write as 1 divided by 2.47. We write it in standard form times 10 to power minus 2. This is equals to 1 over 2.47 multiplied by 1 over 10 to power minus 2. Now you can read the inverse of this number from the mathematical table, and you get it is 0.4049 multiplied by the reciprocal of 10 is 10 minus 2 into bracket minus 1. That represents the inverse. Now when you multiply that, you get it is 0.4049 multiplied by, when you open this bracket, 2 apply the third row of indices, 2 minus 2 times minus 1, that will give you minus 2. So this is 10 squared, which is 100. So you multiply 0.4049 times 100 is equals to 40.49. So now to complete now the question, you need to now get work out that, evaluate this. So this means that this is the same as the cube root of 3.025 divided by 0.0247, which we can write as the square root of cube root of 3.025 multiplied by 1 over 0.0247. And you note here we had already calculated the inverse. This is the inverse of 0.0247. So you get the cube root of 3.0225, which is 1.4462, and you multiply by, now this is the inverse of 0.0247, which is 40.49, and this, when you're using your calculator, you get it is 58.5584. So that is how you work out that question regarding the inverse, and then you use your inverse to evaluate that expression. So thank you for watching. Question number 15. A Kenyan business intended to buy goods worth $20,000 from South Africa. Calculate the value of goods to the nearest South African rand, given that $1 is equivalent to 101.9378 Kenyan shillings, and 1 South African rand is equivalent to 7.6326 Kenyan shillings. So you need to convert now these $20,000 to South African rand, and you cannot do that directly because we have not given how many dollars are equivalent to 1 South African rand. So what we need to do is first of all to convert this amount, $20,000 US dollars, to Kenyan shilling. So you can say in Kenyan shillings, it is the 20,000 multiplied by $1 is equivalent to 101.9378, and this, when you multiply, use your calculator, you get 2,008,756. So that is in Kenyan shillings. Then we need to find out how many South African rand are equivalent to 2,038,756, and we get this since we have been given that one South African rand is equal to 7.6326 Kenyan shillings. Then we divide our amount, which is 0.8756. We divide by 7 shillings and 63.6326, and you use your calculator to work out that you get it is equals to 267 112 South African rand. So that is how you work out that, and you get a full mark for that. So thank you for watching. So question number 16, a photograph measuring 24 centimeter by 15 centimeter is enclosed in a frame. A uniform space of width X centimeter is left in between the edges of the photograph and the frame. If the area of the space is 270 centimeters squared, find the value of X. To understand and be fast in solving this problem, we are going to create a sketch that is going to guide us on how to work it out. So let's have a sketch. So this is a sketch that we have, and we can say we can okay, we are told that this is 24 the length centimeter, and this is 15 centimeter. So we can subdivide this into 4 sections, the shaded part. So we have so we can say here now this is 24 plus 2x, that is this x and this x. Then the other one, we have this part here, it is 15. This is the same as 15. So to get the area, we can get the area of this part here and multiply by 2 because of this other side. Get the area of this part here and multiply by 2 because of the other side. So to get the area, we will say it is 2 multiplied by 15. That is this part. 2 is because we have 2 times, and this will be 15 times x. So that is 15x. We add to 2 multiplied by 24 plus 2x. This is the length, multiplied by the x here. So that is from there. So they get the area. So this is multiplied by x, and this will be this will give you 30x plus, when you open the bracket here, this is 48. Okay, we say it is 48 plus 4x multiplied by x, and this will give us 30x plus 48x plus 4x squared. But we are told that the area of this part is 270. So we say this is, we can write it 4x squared When you add this, you get 30x plus 48. That will give you 78x is equals to 270. We bring 270 to this side. We will have 4x squared plus 78x minus 270 is equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation, and to make it a bit simpler, let us divide by 2 throughout. So this will give us 2x squared plus 78 divided by 2. That will give us 39x minus 135 is equals to 0. We can solve this by factor method. We get two numbers such that, okay, first of all, we multiply 2 multiplied by 135. That will give us 270. So we get two numbers such that when you multiply them, you get 270. When you add them, you get 39. These two numbers are 45 and minus 6. When you multiply 45 times 6, you get 270. 45 minus 6 is 39. So we rewrite our expression as 2x squared plus 45x minus 6x minus 135 is equals to 0. So we factor out this. We have here, we have this, we have x will be left with 2x plus 45 plus, here we factor out 3. So we factor out 3. We factor out minus 3. So this will change to minus. So we factor out minus 3. We will be left with 2x plus 45 is equals to 0. So we combine this, we'll get x minus 3 and x, 2x plus 45 is equals to 0. So this means that x is equals to 3 or minus 22.5. And because we are talking of length, it cannot be negative. So we conclude that our x is equals to 3. So that I believe that the frustum, that is the shape of the tank, was obtained after part of the cone was cut off. And this is a shape that we call, or we refer to as a frustum. So this is the shape of the cone which was cut off, and the dotted part represents the part that was cut off. And we do not have, since we don't have the direct formula to get the surface area of a frustum, we must consider the part that was cut off so as to be able to get the surface area. The surface area of a cone is equals to pi r l. Let that represent, let the big radius, that is the radius of the big cone, be capital R, and this is R, and the small cone represented by small r. Let L represent the slanting side of the big cone, and L represent the slanting side of the small cone. So it means the surface area of the frustum is the surface area of the whole cone minus the surface area of the small cone. So it is pi RL minus pi RL. I hope that is very clear. But remember, we do not have the length of the slanting side of the big cone and the small cone. So how do we do that? We are going to use a big radius and small radius to calculate the slanting sides. So let the height of the small cone be represented by a small h, and therefore using the linear scale factor you find that the ratio of the radius is equals to the ratio of the height, because the small cone and the big cone are similar, and therefore we say the height of the big cone will be 7.2 plus h, so it is 7.2 plus h divided by the height of the small cone is h, is equals to the radius of the big cone is 12 divided by the radius of the small cone is 6. So here you can compute and you'll be able to get 6 multiplied by 7.2 plus h is equals to, that is you cross multiply, is equals to 12h. Then you open the bracket, you get this is you multiply, you get 6 times 7.2, you get 43.2, then plus 6h is equals to 12h. Take 6 to the other side, you get 6h is equals to 43.2. Divide both sides by 6, you get the height of the small cone h is equals to 7.2. Now with the height of the small cone, we will be able to get the slanting side, because now we get the ratio of formed, that is a triangle. We say this is a triangle. This is the top, so this is the top. So this we say it is 12. Here it is 6. So we can use this now. We have gotten the height of the big cone is 14.4, and therefore we can get now the small l. We get L is equals to 7.2 squared plus 6 squared. So that is using the Pythagoras theorem. So our small l is equals to 9.37, and our big L is equals to the square root, that is something side of the big cone, 14.4 squared plus 12 squared, and this should give you, using a calculator, you get it is 18.74. Now with that, we can now be, since now we have a small l, that is a small l, the big L, we can now apply our formula here to get the surface area of the frustum. This means that the surface area of the frustum is equals to, we can factor out pi, and we are left with RL, that is capital R, capital L, minus small r minus small r, small l, which is equals to, this is 22/7 into bracket. The big R is 12 multiplied by 18.14. This you minus the small r is 6 multiplied by 9 point, that is we get it is 9.37, and when you compute this, you get it is equals to 529. Use your calculator to compute 0.53 meters squared. So that is the surface area of the frustum. Part B, we look at the capacity of the tank in liters. Capacity of the tank in liters. So capacity is the same as volume, and to get the volume, we say the volume of a cone is given by a that. Volume of a cone is given by a that pi r h, pi r squared. This is squared. So that is the volume. So to get the volume of the tank, it is the volume of the whole cone minus the volume of the small cone. So we say volume is equals to a that pi, we use the r squared, then we have pi r, the height of the big cone, then we minus a that r squared, the height of the small cone, where we can factor out, here we have pi, so we can factor out pi, that pi, not that pi, and we are left with r of the radius of the big cone multiplied by the height of the big cone minus the radius of the small cone squared and the height of the small cone. So this will give you, it is that multiplied by 22/7 into bracket, then the radius of the big cone is 12 squared, the height is 14.4 multiplied by 14.4, then you minus the radius of the small cone is 6 squared multiplied by 7.2, the height is 7.2, and when you use your calculator, you compute, you'll be able to get 1,900,281 liters. That is to the nearest liter. So that is the capacity of the tank. Use your calculator to work out that. And finally, we are told that on a certain day the tank was filled with water. If the school has 500 students and each student uses an average of 40 liters of water per day, determine the number of days that the students would use the water, and you get your 3 marks. So let's see how many days that the tank will take the student when it is capacity full. So now that we have the volume of the tank, and we are told that there are 500 students, each using 40 liters a day, then we will divide the volume of the capacity of the tank with the number of liters used by the 500 students in a day. So we say number of days is equals to the volume, that is 1,900,281. All this is divided by 500. Each student will use 500 students, each using 40 liters. And using your calculator, you should get approximately 95 days. So it would take the school 95 days to use the tank when it is capacity full. And that is how you work out that question. I hope it is clear. If you have any question, you can always forward it through my WhatsApp number or through my email. So question number 18, we are told that two vertices of a triangle ABC are A is 3, 6 and B is 7, 12. Part A of the question says find the equation of the line AB, and you get yourself 3 marks. So let's start with that. To get the equation of a line AB, we have been given 2 points, that is A and B. Given 2 points, to find the equation of a line AB, we need first of all to calculate the gradient. So we say gradient of AB is equals to, the gradient is increase in y, so that means it is 12 minus 6 divided by increase in x, which is 7 minus 3, and this will give you 3, this is 6 over 4, which is equals to 3 over 2. So given the, having calculated the gradient, we take another imaginary point, that is x and y, to get the equation. So you say y, we take one of the points, so you say y minus 6 divided by x minus 3 is the same gradient, which is 3 divided by 2. So you cross multiply, you get 2 into bracket y minus 6 is equals to 3 into bracket x minus 3. You open the bracket, you get this is 2y minus 12 is equals to 3x minus 9. Put the right terms together, that is take 12 to the other side, you get 2y is equals to 3x, then 12 becomes positive, so minus 9 plus 12 becomes positive 3. So that is the equation of the line AB, and you get yourself 3 marks. So part B of the question says find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of line AB, and you get yourself 4 marks. So for us to be able to see this clearly, let's make a sketch of how the two lines appear. So this is our sketch, and this is where we have our A. Can put our A here. We have the coordinates of A, we have 3, 6, and we have the coordinates of B, 7, 12. Since we are told that it is a perpendicular bisector, it means that this line bisect AB into 2 times. So we can, let's say this is, we can call this point M. We can get the coordinates of M. So we say this is how we get the coordinates of M. We add the x coordinates and divide by 2. So it is 3 plus 7 divided by 2, and we get the y by adding 6 plus 12 divided by 2. So this is 10 divided by 2 is 5, and this is 18 divided by 2 is 9. So those are the coordinates of M. And since it is a perpendicular bisector, we know that the product of the gradient of two perpendicular lines is equals to minus 1. So it means 3 divided by 2 multiplied by the gradient of is equals to minus 1. So it means, implies G is equals to minus 2 over 3. So that is the gradient of the perpendicular bisector. Now, having one point and the gradient, we can get the equation. We simply say that we take an imaginary point x and y, and use this point and this point and the gradient to calculate the equation, or to get the equation. So we say y minus 9 divided by x minus 5 should give you the gradient, which is minus 2 over 3. Meaning when you cross multiply, you get 3 y minus 9 is equals to this is minus 2, and you say it is x minus 5. You close the bracket. When you compute that, you should get the equation is 3y is equals to minus 2x. That is, when you open the bracket, you should get 3y is equals to minus 2x plus 37. And that is the equation of the line which is perpendicular bisector of line AB. And that is why. The reason why I am not opening the bracket is to save the place. But you just do it the way we have done with this one, and you should be able to get the equation of that line. So let's go to part C. Part C says, given that AC is perpendicular to AB and the equation of line BC is y is equals to minus 5x plus 47, find the coordinates of C. So let's have a look at that. Now, if we are I have modified my diagram here. So this, since we are told that AC is perpendicular to AB, so AC start from there and end there. So that is where we have our AC. This is our BC. We have been given the equation of BC. And we are told to find the coordinates of C. So the first thing that we do is, what is the gradient of AC? Gradient of AC, since we are saying that the product of the gradients of two perpendicular lines is equals to minus 1, and we have the gradient of AB, it means that the gradient of AC is minus 2 over 3. Because when you multiply minus 2 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 2, you get minus 1. So you can get the equation of the line. We have 1 point. 1 point is A, and we have the gradient. So the equation is y minus, taking a imaginary point, y minus 6 and x minus 3. That is the point of A. We get it is minus 2 over 3. Now you cross multiply, you get 3y minus 6 minus 8, not 6 but 18. When you multiply 3 by 6 is 18, is equals to minus 2x, and then you multiply, you add to this is 3 times minus 2 minus 3, you get 6. So when you put the right terms together, you find that your equation will be 3y is equals to minus 2x plus 24. That is when you reorganize this part. Having obtained the equation of AC, that this is the equation of AC, you can see that AC and the BC share a common point, which is C, and therefore we can use the equation of BC and AC to get the coordinates of y. That is, at one point they are sharing y at the same point, y at C. So what we do is we have the equation of y is equals to minus 5x plus 47. Now, because at C, let's see let's say these are the coordinates of at C, or coordinates of point C. We can see the two lines share a common point, and therefore we can substitute our y in this y is equals to 5x in this one, because at C they have a common point. So we say it is 3 into bracket minus 5x plus 47 is equals to minus 2x plus 24. When you open the bracket, you get it is minus 15x plus 47 multiplied by 3, you get 21, then 141, you get it is equals to 2x plus 24. And when you put the right terms together, you find our x is equals to 9. When you substitute x, like here it is 45, that is minus 45 plus 47, you get y is equals to 2. So the coordinates of C are 9 and 2. You just need to put the right terms together here, and you get your x is equals to 9. You substitute your x in this equation, and you'll be able to get the coordinates of C, which is minus 9, 2. That is how you work out that question. I hope you get it clearly. So thank you for watching. Question number 19. The distance covered by a moving particle through point O is given by the equation S is equals to t cubed minus 15t squared plus 63t minus 10. So find the distance covered when t is equals to 2. Distance covered, we say t is equals to 2. Then we say we substitute 2 in place of s. So we say s is equals to 2 cubed minus 15 times 2, then plus 63 times 2 minus 10. This will give you 8 minus, this is 8 minus, this is 2 squared, that is 60 plus 126 minus 10. So this will give you, when you compute that, that is 8 plus 126, that is 134 minus 60 minus 70. It should give, so 134 minus 70, it should give you 64 meters. So that is the distance covered when t is equals to 2. We go to part B, the distance covered during the third second, and you get yourself 3 marks. So we say that when t is equals to 3, we substitute in place of s. So s is equals to 3 cubed minus 15 multiplied by 3 squared plus 63t, not t but 3. This is 63 multiplied by 3 minus 10. This should give you, this is 27 minus 135. You use your calculator that there to compute. Then 63, you get 189 minus 10. When you work out that, you get it is equals to 71. This means that since in the second the distance covered was 64, and the distance covered when t is equals to 3 is 71, so it means during that second, then distance covered is equals to distance that was covered at when t is equals to 3, which is 71, minus distance covered when t is 2, which is 64, and this should give you 7 meters. So the particle covered 7 meters during the third second. We go to part C, the time when the particle is momentarily at rest. So the particle is at rest when the velocity is 0. And to get the velocity, we say it is when you differentiate ds, that is distance with respect to time, and when you differentiate this our function here, we get it is 3 t squared. This is a differentiation. Then we have that t plus 63. So at when at rest, it means the velocity is 0. So it is 3t squared minus 30t plus 63 is equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation, and to be able to solve this, let's simplify it by dividing throughout by 3. Divide by 3. So we'll be left with t squared t squared, you'll be left with t squared minus 10t. Then we have plus 21 is equals to 0. We can use factorization method to solve this. Get two numbers such that when you add them, you get minus 10. When you multiply them, you get 21. So this is minus 7 and minus 3. So we have t squared minus 7t minus 3t. Note here it is minus 7t minus 3t is the same as minus 10t plus 21 is equals to 0. You factor out t here, you'll be left with t minus 7. Here you factor out minus 3, you'll be left with t minus 7 is equals to 0. So we have t factor out t minus 7. We are left with t minus 3 is equals to 0. So this means that t is equals to 7 or 3, and this implies that the particle is at rest at either at 7 seconds and 3 seconds. So that's how you work it out, and you get from here and you get yourself 3 marks. From what we have here, since this is cubed, it looks like the particle is bouncing. So first of all, it will be at rest at 7 seconds, then it comes down, bounce again, and also it becomes at rest. That is, reaches the maximum height at 3 seconds. So this is 7 seconds or 3 seconds. So that's how you work out that question. So part D of the question, we are told the acceleration when t is equals to 5. Acceleration is when we differentiate velocity dv over dt. And we have our velocity which is here. So it is when you differentiate that, this is 6, this is a velocity. So it will be 6t minus 30. And therefore, when t is equals to 5, then acceleration is equals to 6 multiplied by 5 minus 30, which is equals to 30 minus 30 is equals to acceleration is equals to 0. So at t is equals to 5, the acceleration is equals to 0. And that's how you work out that. I hope it is clear. You get yourself 10 marks in this question, which is from section B. So thank you for watching. Question number 20. The diagram below shows a triangle ABC with the vertices A is minus 1, minus 3, B is 1, minus 1, and C is 0, 0, and M and line M. Part A of the question, draw the triangle ABC prime, the image of triangle ABC under the reflection in the line M. So you get yourself 2 marks there. B, triangle ABC prime double prime is the image of triangle ABC prime under transformation matrix represented by the matrix T is equals to 2, 1, 2, 0, 1. Draw triangle ABC double prime, 3 marks. Describe fully the transformation represented by T. And finally, part 3, find the area of triangle ABC prime. Hence, find the area of triangle ABC double prime. So let's start by drawing ABC prime, which is a reflection of the line of the triangle ABC. How do you get that? To get the reflection, we start with A. Draw a perpendicular line from A, which is perpendicular to line M. Measure the distance from A to the mirror line, which is line M, and equal distance from the mirror line to your image. So that is why you get the image of A. So that is the line from A, perpendicular to line M, and the distance from A to M is equals to the distance from the mirror line to where we have our image, and that is where we have our point A. We do the same to point C and B to get the image, or to get A prime, double A prime, B prime, and C prime. So this is an image of C. From C to the mirror line, equal distance and perpendicular. So this is where we have our, this is our C prime, and this is our A prime too. So we also do the same to B. So this is the image of B. So this is where we have our B prime. So we join the 3 points to come up with the image of our, or the reflection of our triangle ABC. So this is the triangle A prime, B prime, and C prime, which is the image of triangle ABC, a reflection through the line M. So part B, triangle ABC prime, double prime, is the image of triangle ABC under a transformation represented by the matrix T is equals to 1, 2, 0, 1. So we draw the triangle ABC double prime, 3 marks. For us to do that, we need to multiply the matrix formed by the coordinates of ABC prime multiplied by this matrix, so that we are able to get the coordinates of the third. So from our diagram here, we have the coordinates of A prime. From our image, it is minus 4, 0. Our B prime is minus 2, 2, minus 2, 2, and our C prime is minus 1, 1. So for us to get our second triangle, that is A prime, B prime, and C double prime, then we pre-multiply the matrix that can be formed, that will be formed from the coordinates of our image and our matrix here. So we will say this is 1, we have 2, we have 0, we have 1. Then we multiply by this is a matrix, that is our A prime will be minus 4, 0. Then our B prime will be minus 2, 2, and our C prime is minus 1, 1. When you multiply this, you say it is 1 multiplied by minus 4 is minus 4, 2 times 0 is 0, so you add minus 4 times 0, you get minus 4. And this is we have minus 1 times minus 2 is minus 2. 2 times 2 is 4, so you add, you get 2. 1 multiplied by minus 1 is minus 1. 2 times 1 is that. So you get, you know how to multiply the matrices. There you get 1. The other one is 0 times minus 4, 0. 1 times 0 is 0. Then we have 0 times that is 0. Then this will give us 1 times 2 is 2. And 0 times minus 1 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. So these are these are A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. So it means that the coordinates of A are minus 4 and 0. We have our B double prime is 2, 2, and we have our C double prime is 1, 1. So those are the coordinates of that triangle. So part 1, we are told draw triangle ABC double prime, and you get 3 marks. So let's plot that triangle using the coordinates that the 3 coordinates that we have here to get the triangle. So this is our triangle. This is our A double prime, and this is our, that is 2, 2 is our B double prime, and we have our C double prime. So those are the figures that we have come up with. So Roman and part 2 describe fully the transformation represented by the matrix T, and you get yourself 3. So this, if you look at our A prime, double prime, B double prime, and C double prime, you compare with the A prime, B prime, and C prime, you can see it is like B has been pulled, pulled to get to B prime. If you produce BC, that is BC, you produce, and B prime, double prime, and C, they will meet at the x-axis. You produce the two lines. So this we say it is, that is Roman number 2, it is a shear kind of transformation. The shear transformation is described, since we are saying if you produce B prime, C prime, produce that line, and produce B double prime and C double prime, they meet along the x-axis. So we say x-axis is invariant, and we say that point B, which is B prime, which is 2 minus 2, 2, is mapped onto B double prime with the coordinates 2, 2. So that is how you describe the transformation of A prime, B prime, and C prime, which is transformed to A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. So there you get, by that description, you get yourself 3 marks. We go to Roman number 3. Find the area of triangle ABC, hence find the area of ABC prime, hence find the area of A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. You get yourself 2 marks. So in this case, we have coordinates of triangle A prime. So you have A, the coordinates are minus 4, 0. We have B, the coordinates are minus 2, 2, and we have our C prime, which is minus 1 and 1. From here, we can get the line AB prime, like that. A prime, B prime is equals to, we start with B, we say it is minus 2, 2, close the bracket, minus OA, which is minus 4, 0, which to give us, we get it is 2, and we have 2, 2. This means that the magnitude or the size of A prime, B prime is equals to the square root of 2 squared plus 2 squared, which is equals to the square root of 8. So that is the magnitude of the line AB. We go to BC. That is B prime, C prime. We get the vector, that is B is minus 1, 1, close the bracket, and we have our C, which is our C, that is minus 2, 2. So we get this is equals to minus 1 minus 2, you get 1. 1 minus 2, you get minus 1. So you get like that, implying the magnitude of B prime, C prime is equals to the square root of 1 squared plus minus 1 squared, which is the square root of, that's the square root of 2. Now we got the length of AB prime and BC prime. So area means area is equals to, since it is a right angle triangle, it is a half AB, that is AB, a half, that is a base, which is a root of 8 multiplied by BC, which is B prime, which is root 2. This will give you, you multiply this, will give you root 16 over 2. Put them all under the same square root. So this is 16 divided by 4, which will give you the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 you get 2. So it means the area of triangle ABC prime is equals to 2. Hence find the area of triangle A prime, A double prime, C double prime, and B double. Now, since we have been given the transformation matrix, we know that the determinant of a transformation matrix is equals to the linear scale factor or area scale factor. So we say determinant is equals to, you multiply the elements of the main diagonal, you minus the element of the other diagonal, so it is multiplied by 0, which is 1 minus 0 is equals to 1. Now, it means if the determinant is 1, then it means area scale factor is equals to 1. And if the area scale factor is equals to 1, it means area of A, B double prime and C double prime is also equals to 2, because the area scale factor is 1. That is, when you get the ratio of the first triangle, A prime, double prime, and C double prime, you divide by the area. That is, let's say this is the second area, the second triangle, divide by the area of the first, the second triangle. This is the that triangle, divide by the area of the second triangle, which is 2. It is equals to 1. That is the area scale factor. And when you cross multiply, you get the area of the second triangle. That is second triangle is equals to 2. So that's how we work it out. And I hope it is clear. Thank you for watching. Question number 21. The figure below shows two triangles, ABC and BCD, with a common base 3.4 centimeter. AC we are given is 7.2. This is our AC. And we have our CD is 7.5 centimeter, and angle ABC is 90 degrees. That means triangle ABC is a right angle triangle. The area of triangle ABC, that is ABC, is equals to the area of triangle BCD. It is supposed to be a triangle there. So calculate correct to one decimal place the area of triangle ABC. Since triangle ABC is a right angle triangle, we can get the length of AB by using AC and BC, and then we use a method of half base times height. So let's say AB is equals to, using the Pythagoras theorem, it is the square root of the hypotenuse 7.2 squared minus the base, which is 3.4 squared. This is equals to, using your calculator, you will be able to get it is 6.3 centimeter. 6.3 centimeter. So that is this is the length of AB, 6.3 centimeter. So area, it means area is equals to a half. The base is 3.4 times height, which we have found it is 6.3, and this should give us 10.7 centimeter squared. So that is the area of triangle, triangle ABC. From there we go to part B, and we say the size of angle BCD. The size of angle BCD. So we are interested in this angle, So how do we get that? Okay, since we are told that the angle of triangle ABC is equals to the area of triangle ABCD, then to get this angle, it means area of triangle BCD is equals to, we are interested in the angle, so it is a half multiplied by 3.4 multiplied by 7.5 sine inclusive angle, which is sine, we can call it sine C, is equals to 10.7 centimeter, because the area is the same as the area of triangle ABC, and therefore we can get the sine of C is equals to 10.7 multiplied by 2 divided by 3.4 times 7.5. This will give you using your calculator 0.392, and the sine inverse of this, you get our C, our angle C. Let's use this part here. This is C is equals to you get 57.1 degrees. But you realize that our angle here is an obtuse angle, so it cannot be an angle. 57 is an acute angle, so it means this angle must be the sine in the second quadrant. You remember what we said about the angles in the second quadrant. The sine is positive, and therefore it means this angle C is equals to 180 minus 57.1, and this should give you 122.9 degrees. So that is the size of angle BCD. From there, we look at the length of BD. We can get the length of BD by using the cosine rule. That is, we say BD squared is equals to 7.5 is equals to 7.5 squared plus 3.4 squared minus 2 multiplied by 3.4 times 7.5, the sine of 122.9 degrees. So using your calculator, when you compute that, you get it is equals to 95.51. So you get this BD is equals to the square root of 95.51, and this should give you 9.8 centimeters. So that is the length of BD. And then we go to part C, the size of angle BDC. So the size of this angle we are interested in. To get BD, we use a sine rule, and you say that if we take this side 3.4 divide by the sine of let's say this angle is theta, the one that we are interested in, is the same as we already got 9.8. that is this is 9.8. we have said it is BD, and the angle is sine 122.9 degrees. So we can now get sine theta, you cross multiply, is equals to 3.4, the sine of 122.9. all this is divided by 3.4, and using your calculator you should be able to get that theta is equals to, that is, you get 3.4 times sine 122.5 divided by 3.4, and then you press the button of sine inverse of the answer. It is 16.9 degrees. So that is how you work out that. and by the end of that you should be able to score 10 marks in this question. So thank you for watching. Question number 22, part A. On the grid provided, draw the graph of y is equals to 4 minus 1 over 4x squared for the range minus 4 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 4. You get 2 marks. Part B, you get using trapezium rule with 8 stripes, estimate the area bounded by the curve and the x-axis. You get yourself 3 marks. Find the area estimated in part B by integration. So there you integrate, calculate the percentage error in estimating the area using the trapezium rule. So for us to be able to plot, we need first of all to make a table for this function so that we are able to come up with a graph. So let's use a table to plot that, to make the table, then we plot the graph. So this is the table that I have made. You don't necessarily need to use a ruler, you can use your free hand. I've done that for my own convenience. Also, I have chose to have 3 rows. I find it a bit convenient so that you minimize the error. So we start by putting, this is our x. Our x is from minus 4, we have minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is the range we have been given. So the other part, I will put the 1 minus 1 over 4x. In this case, I'm multiplying minus a quarter times x, and when you multiply this, you get minus 4. When you get multiplied by this is remember this is squared, that is minus a quarter times minus 4 squared. This will give you minus 2.25. 2 will give you minus 1. 1 will give you minus that is minus 0.525. Then we have 0 will give you 0. This will give you minus 0.25. Then we have 2 will give you minus 1. This will give you minus 2.25. And we have 4 which will give you minus 4. Now remember we have a constant here 4, so we add, so we say it is 4 minus 4. This is now this is our y, minus 4, that is 4 minus minus 4, that will give you 0. 4 minus 2.25, this will give you 1.75. The other one you get 4 minus 1 is 3. This will give you 3.75. Then we have 4. We have 3.75. 4 minus 1 is 3. Then we have 4 minus 2.75. 25 you get 1.75. And finally we have 4 minus 4 is 0. So these are the values that we are going to plot to come up with our graph. So let's do that. So let's have our beginning point to be 0. So x will be 1, 2, 3, 4. We can say 5. This is our x-axis. Always remember to label your axis. So we have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Then y-axis is, we can say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is our y-axis. From there, we identify our point. So when x is minus 4, y is 0. So this is our point there. When x is minus 3, y is 1.75. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be approximately there. When x is 2, y is 3. So that is where we have our point. When x is minus 1, y is 3.75, approximately there. So when x is 0, y is 4, so that our point is there. When x is 1, y is 3.75. When x is 2, y is 3. When x is 3, y is 1.75. When x is 4, y is 0. When x is 4, y is 0. So with this point, let's join them using your free hand to come up with a graph. So this is a graph that we have come up with. And remember, you don't use a ruler, you use your free hand, and ensure that your graph is as smooth as possible. Now we are through with that, so we go to part B. Using trapezium rule with 8 stripe, estimate the area bounded by the curve and the x-axis. So trapezium rule, we will need to read the values here. So we start to the left side. The first one is 0. We call them the y. So let's read those values and see how we use them to find the area. So this is a graph that I've come up with. Remember, since it is a quadratic graph, you use your free hand to plot the graph. Don't use a ruler, and always ensure that your graph is as smooth as possible. Now we go to part B. Using the trapezium rule with 8 stripes, estimate the area bounded by the curve and the x-axis. You get 3 marks. So you realize that here, starting from minus 4, if you count to divide this into stripe, we have 8 of them. That is if we brought the line here. So it means we know when x is minus 3, we know that point. We know that point when x is minus 1. So these are our stripes that we use to get the area. So for example, we are with the trapezium rule. We say the area is equals to, you normally say it is a half multiplied by the height. The height is this. This is the height, and our height is equals to 1. You multiply by the first point, that is y0 plus y to power n, and then you add to 2, y1 plus y2 plus on and on plus yn minus 1. You close the bracket. So that is a trapezium rule that we use. So from our points here, we are going to say area is equals to a half. Our height is 1, so that won't make the difference. Then we multiply by our y. The starting point here is 0, and the y to power n is 0, so that is 0 plus 0. Then we have plus. We say it is 2. We are going to use this point, so we start with that is a point here when x is minus 3. So we say it is 1.75 plus 3 plus 3.75 then plus 4 then plus 3.75 plus 3 plus, this is our y is equals to, because this is y to power n, this is now the y is yn minus 1, which is 1.75. So you get this, obviously this is 0. So when you multiply 2, you add all this, you multiply by 2, you get it is equals to 21 square units. So that is the area of the under the curve and bounded by the curve and the x-axis. Part C, find the area estimated in part B above by integration. So let's see what the area is by integration. So to get area by integration, we say area, we need to integrate our function here with the limits minus 4 and 4 of 4 minus 1 over 4x squared. So when you integrate that, you say with respect, that is with respect to dx, this is equals to, when you integrate this, you get this is 4x minus x cubed divided by 12. That is with 4 and minus 4. Then you substitute, and this should give you 4 multiplied by 4. That is, you substitute for x is equals to 4 minus 4 over 12. That is, this is cubed. All this you're supposed to minus. That is minus 4 multiplied by minus 4 cubed. Okay, let's use this kind of bracket, cubed, and then we minus minus 4 into bracket cubed divide by 12. It is equals to, so this is that you don't have a cube there. So now, using your calculator, you should compute that and get is equals to 21 and a third square units. So that is the area by integration. You should be able to use your calculator here and compute that. I don't think that is difficult. And also, if you don't understand how we integrate here, remember here it is 4. We can write it x to power minus 2. So when you integrate, it means you add 1 and you divide with the same number that you have added. That is how we are getting x cubed to power 12. So let's go to part D. We are told calculate the percentage error in estimating area using trapezium rule. So part D, we are supposed to get the percentage error. In percentage error, when we are doing approximation errors and approximation, we say that it is the actual area. The actual area is the area you get from after integrating, so it is 21 and a third minus the estimated area is when you use a trapezium rule, which is 21. You divide by the actual area, which is 21 and a third. So this means that it is a third divided by 21 and a third, and when you work out that, you get it is equals to 1.5625. So that's how you work it out, and you earn yourself 10 marks. So I hope it is clear, you have understood how to go about such kind of a question. So thank you for question number 23. 3 business partners, Abira, Buire, and Chichu, contributed Kenya shilling 120,000, Kenya shilling 180, and Kenya shilling 240,000 respectively to boost their business. They agreed to put 20% of the profit accrued back into the business, and to use 35% of the profit for running the business official operations. The remainder to be shared among the business partners in the ratio of their contribution. At the end of the year, a gross profit of 225,000 Kenyan shillings was realized. Part A, calculate the amount, Roman number 1, put back into the business. Now, they have declared that they want to put 35% of what was realized back to business, and therefore, no, 20% back to the business. So we are going to calculate 20% of 225,000. So we say 20 divided by 100. That is, this is part A, multiply by 225,000. And when you compute that, you find that what was to be retained for business is 45,000 using your calculator. So that is Roman number 1. We come to Roman number 2. Roman number 2, we are told to calculate the amount used for official operation, and that is 35%. So it is 35% of 100, not 100. You multiply by 225,000, and that should give you 78,750. So that is the amount to be retained for running the business. So that is Roman number 2. We go to part B, calculate the amount of profit each partner got. Now, for we have they realized 225,000. So we are going to say it is 225,000. You minus 45,000 plus 78,750. Close the bracket. You get the balance. That is what to be shared, and the balance you get is 101,250. 101,250. Now, it is to be divided in the ratio of their contribution. Now, the ratio of their contribution, we have a bidder who contributed 120,000 into the other one contributed 180,000, and the other one contributed 240,000. So this ratio we can divide by 10,000. We would be left with 12, 18, and 24. Then you divide by 6, you get it here, it is 2. 18 you get divide by 6 is 3, and 24 divided by 6 is 4. Now that is the ratio. So we say a bidder got 2 out of 9 of 101, 250,000. So it means a bidder is to get, when you use your calculator, is to get 22,500. So that is a bidder. Now we have Bwire. Let's use B to represent Bwire. Bwire got 3 out of 9 of 101, 250, and when you compute that, you get that Bwire will get that 3,750. Then we have a Churchill who had 4 out of 9. You multiply by 1 or 1, 250, and this you get, Bwire will get 45,000. So that is the amount each you get out of what remains. Part C, we are told if the amount of put back into business was added to individual shares proportionately to the initial contribution, find the amount of Churchill's new shares. So this is part C. Bwire had contributed 240,000. So he's to be added, since he had 4 out of 9 from the ratio, he is to be added 4 out of 9 of 78,750. So this is to be added, and then you find this is equals to 240,000. When you multiply this, you get 45,000. And therefore, when you add the two, you find that the new shares for Churchill will be 285,000. That will be his new share holding in the business. So that is how you work out that question, and you get yourself 10 marks. A very simple process, and you are able to earn a whole mark. So thank you for watching. So question number 24, the equation of a curve y is equals to a third x cubed minus 4x plus 5. Determine the value of y when x is 3. So we have part A, when x is equals to 3, then we have y is equals to a third multiplied by 3 cubed minus 4 multiplied by 3 plus 5. So this 3 will go with this one, so we have 3 squared, so this is equals to 9. Then we have minus 12 plus 5, and that should give you 2. So when x is 3, y is equals to 2. Part B, we are told the gradient of the curve at x is equals to 3. So the gradient of the curve is differentiate, so it is dy over dx, which is equals to, we say it is 3 x squared over 3 minus 4. So that is a gradient, which will give you, this goes with that, we get it is x squared minus 4. So at we say at x is equals to 3, dy over dx is equals to 3 squared minus 4, which is equals to 3 squared is 9 minus 4 is equals to 5. So that is the gradient of the curve at x is equals to 5 is equals to. Part C of the question, we have part C, the turning points of the curve and their nature. Now, the turning point, you realize that because the highest power or index of x is 3, this is a cubic function. The turning point is when the gradient is equals to 0. So dx is equals to 0. And since we know that our gradient is x squared minus 4, it should be equals to 0. That is implying that. So we take 4 to the other side, then we have x squared is equals to 4, implying x is equals to, we get the square root of 4 plus or minus 2. This means that x is a turning point is x is equals to 2 or minus 2. So now we take an example. Let's say our turning point here is 2. Let's say the point is like that. So we know here it is 2, so here it is 1, and here it is 3. So we try and investigate the gradient of the curve when it is at 1 and when it is 3, and we'll be able to determine the nature. So this means that x squared is equals to 4 is equals to 0. So at x is equals to 1, then it implies that 1 squared minus 4 is equals to minus 3. So it means here the gradient is negative. Let's check at x is equals to 3, then it implies that 3 squared minus 4 is equals to 9 minus 4 is equals to 5. So the gradient here is positive. That means the nature of the turning point, we start with the negative. We start with the then we have 0. Then this is positive. So this is positive. This is the turning point. The gradient at 1. This is at 1. This is at 2, and this is 3. So we refer to this point. The nature of this point is minimum. Minimum, meaning it turns like that, the turning point. So we now investigate at a turning point x is equals to 2, that minus 2, that is the turning point. At minus 2, which is probably there, 2, we have minus 1 and we have minus 3. So we take at minus 1. What is the gradient of, so at x is equals to, let's start with minus 3, then it means that minus 3 squared minus 4 is equals to 9 minus 4 is equals to 5. This is positive. So let's check at x is equals to minus 1. So we have minus 1 squared, the gradient, minus 4, this is 1 minus 4, which is minus 3. So this is negative. That's negative. So it means when we start from minus 3, the gradient start with minus 3. The gradient is positive. The gradient, so this is at minus 3. Then we have the turning point, and then when we come to minus 1, this is minus 1, this is minus 2. The gradient, so here the gradient is positive, the gradient here is negative, the gradient is 0 here. Then this kind of a turning point, we refer to it as a maximum. Maximum. So this is maximum. So that is the nature of the turning points of our function, and that's how you go about it. Hope you understand. By doing that, you earn yourself 10 marks. So thank you for watching.